Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. In the first update of the day, this is the latest from William Bonac. William stated in the caption that he started his offseason off at about 230 pounds and he is currently 260. Last year, William Bonac started working with Chad Nichols at about 5 weeks out from the Arnold Classic and completely revived his physique. And honestly, going into this year's Mr. Olympia, I think William has the potential to place as high as second. I would say fight for the title, but in all honesty, Big Ramy is so big. As long as he comes in condition, it's going to be very hard to beat him. But this version of Bonac arguably beat Brandon Curry at the Arnold Classic. Brandon Curry has been in the top 2 best bodybuilders for the past 3 years. So going into this year's Mr. Olympia, I'm positive that William Bonac will place higher than 6th. And let me know in the comment section below, how do you guys think William would do at this year's Mr. Olympia? And in the next update of the day, this is the latest from Samson Dauda. This was actually put up while I was making this video. Samson was just saying in the caption that he's ending his offseason and he wants to show the progress he's made from behind. And definitely seems like Samson has added some density to the back. And wait until he pulls his rear lat spread, guys. It's honestly crazy. But looking at this, Samson still needs to put on a bit more size. You know, just being a taller guy, Samson is probably 5'11", close to 6 foot. Just going to take a bit more mass to fill out, but Samson has definitely improved the back. Now, in the next update of the day, this is the latest from Brett, Wilkin, and Charles Griffen. Charles Griffen has officially signed to Raw and Revive. Brett said, "Welcome to the team." Brett Wilkin is huge here. But as I said in the last picture, for him to be as conditioned as Charles, you know, he may have to lose 10 or 20 pounds. Brett did say he's competing this year, but hasn't said which show yet. But from the way that Brett is looking now, he will probably end up hitting a show at the end of the year, or maybe not even a qualifier for this year's Mr. Olympia. Now, the next update of the day, Blessing Awodibu did a guest posing at this weekend's Atlanta Pro. And a lot of people were talking about Blessing didn't look the best. And the same thing I said about Rafa in the offseason, I believe guys that are more shapely aren't going to be as impressive in the offseason as, you know, a Maz Monster. Brandon Curry wasn't as impressive. You know, he's a shape guy. And a couple years back, they gave Sean Roden some flack from a guest posing, but another shape guy. Now, I do believe Blessing could have came in a little bit tighter here or controlled his midsection a bit better. But honestly, I just don't think the more aesthetic guys really look good in guest posings anyway. And in the next update of the day, we have more updates of Quinton Eriya ahead of Tampa and the Texas Pro. Quinton looks incredible here, man. And every single update he puts out, it seems like he's constantly improving. And I've also been noticing that Quinton has been improving his posing. Now, Quint would definitely need a little bit more size to be competitive with some of the top guys. But if any of these guys come in slipping, you know, not as conditioned, Quint may be able to punch his ticket to the Mr. Olympia. And as you guys can see in this back double bicep, he has definitely improved the execution. Still needs to bring the back up a lot, but he's on the way. In every update, he looks better. Really looking forward to seeing this guy on stage, man, and hopefully he can catch somebody slipping and qualify for the Olympia. And in the next update of the day, this is the latest from Martin Fitzwater ahead of the Texas Pro as well as the Arnold UK. Martin is being coached by Branch Warren, and in the caption of this, he's actually working with Chris Cormier, his posing coach. Martin is incredible and almost a more aesthetic guy, you know, in comparison to some of the other guys we have. But from this rear leg spread, another guy that still needs to add on a bit more size to truly be competitive. But Martin is definitely on his way up, and I really like his shape. And these are more angles of the battle between Iain Valliere and Antoine Vaillant. I actually won't go too deep into this because in the comments of the video of Iain winning, we pretty much went back and forth about this. But I'm actually very, very impressed with the physique that Antoine brought to the stage. I know he's had some issues in the past. I actually heard that he tore both biceps on both arms. And his arms still look pretty good. But Antoine should definitely hop in another show and he could possibly qualify for the Mr. Olympia. And I thought this was interesting that Iain Valliere was pulling a vacuum at 265 pounds. And it's actually somewhat of a deep vacuum to be pulling, you know. Some other guys should try to implement this in their physique. And in the next update of the day, these are the latest updates from Keone Pearson ahead of the Texas Pro. Keone is posting updates every single day, man, so I know he's feeling good. And as we all can see, Keone is conditioned and is probably on track to bring his best package ever to the Texas Pro. I think we're about 3 weeks out from Texas, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a little bit less. Updates every single day, man, just like Quinton Eriya. Honestly, kind of hard to keep up with these guys. But I'm pretty sure, well, Keone does have some competition in Ahmad El Sadani, but Keone is one of the most genetically gifted athletes that we have competing today, so hopefully he nails it and punches his ticket to the Mr. Olympia. I remember last year a lot of people actually had Keone winning the Olympia. but it would be interesting to see Keone come in at 100% and how he stacks up with Derek Lunsford. Now next, we are going to recap the Classic Physique winner from the Vancouver Pro, Chen Kang. This guy has an incredible physique. I may have to do some comparison to him to some other classic guys, man. This guy is incredible. He just needs to come in a little bit more conditioned from behind. And I heard Chris Aceto say that he talked to him and actually hasn't been doing the best dieting. So if this guy actually had his diet in check, he may be even better than what we're seeing here. But incredible physique, incredible shape, and he is going to the Olympia. Now, the next update of the day, this is the latest from Gabriel Zancanelli ahead of the Tijuana Pro, I believe. That will be next weekend where he'll be trying to get to the Mr. Olympia. He did place third at the Expo Pro Super Show, and a lot of people thought it was going to be between him and Horse MD. Horse MD with the controversy, unable to make weight. Look at the back of Zancanelli, man. But this guy's one of the most complete guys we have in the Classic Physique division. Still may need a bit more size, you know. But this guy looks great, and I'm excited to see him compete next week. Now, the next update of the day, this is Jeremy Potvin, a men's physique athlete. He is a top 4 placer at the Olympia in the men's physique division. I thought this was interesting to share just because this guy has an incredible physique. Crazy chest, very small waist. He was actually switching over to Classic, but I think he couldn't make it this year. So probably going to do 1 or 2 more years in men's physique. And he will be competing in the Chicago Pro next weekend. Now, the last update of the day, ending this video with Michaela Aycock, who just won the Atlanta Pro in the women's bodybuilding division. On the left, you see her earlier this year after 2 hernia surgeries. She said she didn't even plan on competing this year, just hopped into prep and got 2 weeks out and said, you know, let me hop into the show. Incredible story, and I'm pretty sure I can nickname her the female giant killer. But after 2 hernia surgeries and not even knowing if she was going to compete this year, she came in and was probably the smallest person on stage at this Atlanta Pro and won in the women's bodybuilding division, headed back to the Mr. Olympia. One of my favorites in the women's bodybuilding division, just incredibly hardworking, not necessarily the best genetically, but just outworks everyone, and she actually coaches herself. As always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and I'm out.